is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin this afternoon with breaking news. A fake 911 call tied up Fargo police officers for nearly an hour this afternoon. Police were called to the 6800 block of 24th Street South near Davies High School after someone called dispatch and said they accidentally shot their sister. Then they hung up. Officers discovered the caller wasn't associated with the address and no one was injured at the home. Here's what one neighbor said about the scary situation.
You see like 6-7 cop cars and a news crew and things like that. It's a little different. They came knocking on the door earlier, but just gave them a quick statement about what, I had seen or lack thereof seen.
We just kind of saw them outside and they told us to go inside until we didn't know what was going on because they were running across the lawn with like guns. It's crazy.
Fargo police tell us even though it was a fake call, the person behind it faces real charges like terrorizing. A false report could get someone seriously hurt and takes police resources away from actual victims of crime. These fake 911 calls are rare, but they're always taken seriously and fully investigated. It's a first alert weather day and we're tracking some severe storms. Hutch joins us now with details. Hutch.
Stacey, thanks so much. On this first alert weather day, it's hot and humid and there's enough heat and humidity to fire some storms tonight. And our main concerns indeed are the fact that we could have some with hail that'll be quite large and a gusty straight line winds. So now what you can do to prepare if storms are not in your area, secure that lawn furniture because wind gusts could exceed 60 miles per hour, maybe even in places 80 mile per hour gusts tonight. Park the car in the garage when you do so tonight and prepare for the possibility for a few power outages as trees sometimes fall on power lines. Right now we're seeing some afternoon development in northwest Minnesota, just south of St. Hilaire heading into the Red Lake Falls area, some thunderstorms, but one severe thunderstorm warning out there in the northern Red Lake area right now. As we take a closer look at this storm, it's moving off to the east at only 15 miles per hour and it's over that northern Red Lake right now. Mainly the hailstones will be falling right there over the lake and there are no communities yet in the path of this storm. We'll watch it closely, but in and around there, all of the communities out there that may have cabins or campers, you could expect a possibility for some gusty winds. These lines here tell us 15 minutes it'll be in this area, another 15 here, so it kind of gives you an idea over the next half hour to 45 minutes where that storm is heading. Here's the latest on what you need to know. The main cold front's way out to the west, Stacey, so some of us won't see storms till much later. Evening storms here into the central Red River Valley between now and 10 o'clock. There's evidence of some possible overnight thunder activity as well in the south. I'll spell it all out coming up here in just a few moments.
We're learning more about the fatal ATV crash in Otter Tail County. The sheriff's office says the driver in that crash is 39-year-old Brian Godin. The crash happened just after 6:30 Wednesday in rural Wadena. Police say he was driving down a dirt road and lost control. He was thrown from the vehicle after hitting a ditch. Thousands of Minnesota state employees could be getting a raise and other benefits soon. The two biggest unions for state employees have reached an agreement with the Walz administration. The proposed contracts would include a 2.5% wage increase, a paid holiday on Juneteenth, and it would keep their health care premiums stable for the next 2 years. If you hate waiting in line at the DMV, the North Dakota DOT is making it easier to access those services. Instead of taking a number and sitting in a waiting room, you can just walk up to a kiosk. There are 52 of them across the state. You can use a kiosk to renew a license or get new tabs, request a replacement license or ID card, schedule a road test, or change your address. For a full list of locations, head to valleynewslive.com. The operator of the Dakota Access Pipeline will have to pay nearly $100,000 in fines over safety violations. The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration says the violations involve physical aspects of the pipeline and monitoring systems, but there isn't any evidence that oil has leaked. Violations include improper placement of valves for stormwater drainage on tanks at 6 facilities in western North Dakota. We have a traffic alert for the Northern Valley. Highway 32 is closed south of Thief River Falls until further notice. The Minnesota State Patrol says they've closed the 8-mile stretch because of pipeline protesters setting up camp and causing congestion in that area. Residents will still be allowed to access their homes during the road closure. State Patrol says everyone else should use County Road 17 as a detour. Several roads will be closed near Hector International Airport this weekend for the Fargo Air Show. There's a map of those closures up on your screen. Streets will be closed from 8:15 to 5 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday. You'll still be able to get to the airport terminal. Pfizer announced today that the Biden administration has purchased 200 million more doses of its COVID vaccine. It comes amid growing concern over the impact of vaccine hesitancy. In 16 states, less than half the population has received one dose. Skylar Henry reports from the White House.
In Nevada, which has the highest rate of positive COVID tests nationwide, federal COVID surge response teams are working with local groups to target communities with the lowest vaccination rates.
We try to improve those rates so we can save lives.
In 16 states, less than half the population has received at least one dose of the vaccine. Federal health officials are urging Americans to get vaccinated to protect against the Delta variant, which now accounts for more than 80% of new infections.
The Delta variant is more aggressive and much more transmissible than previously circulating strains.
Los Angeles County reported its highest number of COVID cases since last winter. County health officials say fully vaccinated people make up 20% of new infections.
The vast majority of those folks only experienced either no illness or very mild illness.
As the Delta variant surges, the CDC says there are no current plans to change mask guidance for fully vaccinated adults. Although President Biden says it is possible mask mandates could return for children under the age of 12 in schools.
Chicago has become the latest major city to implement mask mandates in their public schools, joining Boston and Atlanta. The American Academy of Pediatrics says about 1/3 of 16 to 17-year-olds and only a quarter of 12 to 15-year-olds nationwide are fully vaccinated. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
The AAP also says more than 4 million children in the U.S. have tested positive for the virus, including more than 23,000 last week. Today is the last day to donate school supplies to the United Way. The goal is to fill 6,000 backpacks with pencils and notebooks and other essentials. They were at almost 5,000 at noon today. The United Way says it's important to help kids start the school year strong.
Kids need every opportunity to start school confident that they're going to have a great experience. A full backpack, a full belly, help make that happen.
You can drop off donations at Shields Arena or any Gate City Bank location until 5 today. The Walk to Defeat ALS is happening in just over a week, and the ALS Association is looking for more volunteers. The walk in Fargo is at Urban Plains Park on July 31st and starts at 10 a.m. If you'd like to volunteer, we have a link on our website and on our Facebook page. Organizers say the money raised is critical to advance research, care, and advocacy for the ALS community. If you're feeling blue this weekend, the Minnesota DNR says you should get outside and pick some wild berries. The DNR put together a list of state forests where you can find them. We have that list plus some important safety tips up on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story. Olympic athletes not only dealing with COVID challenges, but now the heat. We'll tell you how they're trying to cope amid the hottest games on record.
Heat and humidity and an approaching cold front out to the west causing a line of thunderstorms to fire in north central parts of Minnesota. Over the northern reaches of the upper Red Lake area in Beltrami County, a hail core just off the southern shore of that upper Red Lake. We'll have details on where this is going and when storms may impact you next.